Mating bheagailte réanite seo agus is sin Ionnsaich Òran na beairt an dé. Cha seo a scríobh le murachig mac conich agus ar sin leis na lochís. We're learning the Song of the Loom today, which was written by Murdo Mackenzie and sung by the Lockies. And it's a fun tune about weaving, or not weaving as the case may be. So, on with the chorus. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Dahras. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Nuair a chuir mi innte spàl. Nuair a chuir mi innte spàl. Bhrist is h-uile snàth a bheann. Bhrist is h-uile snàth a bheann. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. So, the beairt is the loom, and it's the loom that did my vexing. Not happy with this loom. Nuair, when a chuir me, that I put innte into it, spàl, that's a spool or a bobbin. Bhrist is h-uile snàth. You might remember snàth from the video I did where I was sewing a face mask. And snàth is, of course, thread. Snàth is a needle that pulls thread, as opposed to a knitting needle, which is a bit in. I covered all this like 6 months ago. But yes, when I put a spool into her, she breaks every thread that is in there. And I'm saying she, in English would say it. Beairt is a feminine word. So, a bheil rhyme scheme out. Gacínteach. So we have shàrachadh, spàl, and then in the middle, snàth. And the last line, beairt a rinn shàrachadh, is more of a refrain. So we've got shàrachadh, spàl, snàth. And Ionnsaich. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. The second time is actually a different tune. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. She beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Nuair a chuir mi innte spàl. Nuair a chuir mi innte spàl. Bhrist is h-uile snàth a bheann. Bhrist is h-uile snàth a bheann. The last one's the same tune as the first. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. All together. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Nuair a chuir mi innte spàl. Bhrist is h-uile snàth a bheann. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. Nuair a chuir mi innte spàl. Bhrist is h-uile snàth a bheann. Beairt a rinn shàrachadh. With the first verse then. Get nach mi eòlach oirr. Get nach mi eòlach oirr. Ha-eagal nach còrd rium. Ha-eagal nach còrd rium. Ha h-iomallan dlùth. h-iomallan dlùth is chanel sùil far an bhór ra bhí. Chanel sùil far an bhór ra bhí. Again, eòlach, còrd, dlùth, sùil. You might be saying, but Renich, eòlach, còrd, dlùth, sùil. R and U are very similar in Gaelic, and a lot of people will move from one to the other as they pronounce certain words. So, in this case, having them rhyme with each other makes sense in the dialect was written in. So, what does it mean? Get is although. Nach, you should know. Eòlach is knowledgeable. So eòlach ara. Now in Gaelic we have a number of different ways of saying you know something. So you say hafesam, that's the basic one, that I have knowledge of it. You can say asanyaran, which is like I'm aware of. Or you could say hamiolach, which is like I know it very well, I'm knowledgeable about this subject, I am full of information. It was described to me once as the difference between Ionnsaich Sydney. Do you know Sydney? I was like, yes, I've been there. Versus Hamiolach and Starch my phone. I know my parents' street. Sometimes I think I could drive it blindfolded, and that's not an easy thing because it's very narrow and windy and there's steep bits on either side, but like I know that street very well, whereas I don't really know Sydney. I'm just aware of it. So you could say Aveliolach the bheairt. Do you know your mother? Do you know your cousin? But you could say Ionnsaich Banri Ionnsaich. Do you know Queen Elizabeth? You would say that's Ionnsaich. I'm aware of her. I don't know her. So yes, get nach h-iomallan, though I'm not really familiar with this loom. Ha-eagal nach rium. I'm afraid she won't agree with me. This is agree with in the sense of whether you like it or not. I like that, it agrees with me. So again, ha-eagal, when you have a lot of emotional states in Gaelic, they are like the eòlach, you're knowledgeable on it. So ha-eagal, fear is on me. Say ha-acras, hunger is on me. What else can you say? Ha-pahar, I'm thirsty. Ha-eagal, I'm scared. It goes on. So I was afraid it wouldn't agree with me. h-iomallan dlùth. Now the h-iomallan, the dictionary tells me, is the heddle. What this actually is the wires in the loom. Very complex machine, a loom, but there are wires in it that direct this way, and then you have the shuttle that puts the thread that way. But of course, in this loom, when you put the shuttle in, all the threads break because it's just a nightmare loom. But that's the h-iomallan, and they're dlùth. What's dlùth? It's close. So these wires are so close to each other. Agus, chanel sùil far an bhór ra bhí. It's a sùil. It's an eye, but in a needle, I have a handy large needle here. Sùil is where the thread goes through. Same in English, we call that the eye of the needle. But these wires in the loom that's meant to have the thread go through them, there's no eyes there, so already we're off to a bad start with this loom. Shall we sing? Yes, we should. We're swiftly running out of time. So, get nach h-iomallan. Get nach h-iomallan. I'd beairt nach còrd. I'd nach còrd. Ha-iomallan dlùth. h-iomallan chodlu. Chanel van behoravi. Chanel van behoravi. That line goes past really quickly. Chanel van behoravi. Get nach eòlach eagal nach còrd h-iomallan chodlu. Chanel van behoravi. A bheairt rium shàrachadh. Get nach eòlach eagal nach còrd h-iomallan chodlu. Chanel van behoravi. Beairt rium shàrachadh. There are 3 more verses, but I think we only have time for 1 more, and the next verse ends with Australia, so that's good. I think. Is a bheil an dlùth an Òran. A bheil an dlùth an Òran. Nan bain rí nàdar-sa. Nan bain rí nàdar-sa. Ma bheith sin fér gon déad mhín. Gon déad mhín. A-null scrip Astràilia. So, seo ceolfu. Oh. Pi, nàdar. The rhyme scheme is falling apart, I'll be honest. So we've got pi, nàdar-sa, and then we've got mhín and scrip and Astràilia. So, yeah, anyway, not sure what's going on here, except that they're all coming to Australia. Or this person in particular, but all of them. This is a Lewis song. There are people from Lewis in Melbourne. Anyway. A bheil an dlùth. Do you expect? Dlùth is the expectation, so you say, ha me an dlùth, I expect. A bheil an dlùth an Òran, that it will pay me. Nan bain rí nàdar-sa. This is like, if I want to say agrees with, again, but it matches with my nature. Nàdar, of course, is nature. Ma bheith sin fér, this is a useful phrase. Ma bheith sin fér, if that's true, gon déad mhín, that I myself will go. Now, if you hear the Lochies sing this, they're from Lewis, of course. The song was written in Lewis. So they will say gon déad. Now, other people might say gon déad. There's really a spectrum there. So you can say gon déad if you want. You can say gon déad. You can say gon déad. Up to you. But I guess for authenticness, you should say gon déad. But as for authenticness, there are probably, I should say còrd instead of còrd, because that's the Lewis pronunciation. But my pronunciation is mixed up. But yes, the last verse, if you're doing the authentic Lewis pronunciation, you should say eagal nach rium and gonnéad mhín. Up to you, I guess. But if that's true, then I myself will go a-nall over a scrip on a trip Australia. To where? To here. Yes. So, shall we sing this? Yes, we shall. It's the same tune as the last one. So, I will sing this verse once, and then we'll launch into singing the whole song so far. A bheil an dlùth an Òran, an bain rí nàdar-sa. Ma bheith sin fér gon déad mhín, a-null scrip Astràilia. Beairt rium shàrachadh. Sa bheil sibh an dul an paíoll, an bunní rium ó nàdar-sa, má bhís sin fear gan chéad mhín, a-null scrip Astràilia, sa bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh. Si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, nuair a chuir innte spàl, Bhrist h-iomallan snàth. Si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, get nach eòlach a eagal nach còrd h-iomallan hodlú, chaneal súb an bhí. Si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, nuair a chuir innte spàl, Bhrist h-iomallan snàth. Si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh. A bheil sibh an dul an paíoll, an bunní rium ó nàdar-sa, má bhís sin fear gan chéad mhín, a-null scrip Astràilia, si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh, nuair a chuir innte spàl, Bhrist h-iomallan snàth. Si bheairt rinn mo shàrachadh.